Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Know Before You Go Live. My name is Bree, and I am the Marketing and Communication Specialist for the Office of Registrar. And here joining us today, I have Marty and Paul. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'm Marty Richardson, Director of Curriculum Support and Graduation in the Office of the Registrar. Been here about 9 years, and our office does everything from degree auditing to course substitutions to curriculum as it is associated with the registrar's office, and everything to do with the student side of commencement.
Awesome. Thank you, Marty. My name is Paul Parker. I'm the Assistant Vice President and University Registrar in the Office of the Registrar. I help Marty in regards to everything related to graduation, commencement. I have a team that oversees transfer evaluations, registrations, immunizations, compliance with USG regulations. So I oversee the entire Office of the Registrar.
Wonderful. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. We're going to go over just a few things as we are starting this live. So this live is going to tell you everything you need to know about the day of commencement, what to expect, what guests should expect, and all the things you need to do prior to commencement. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Marty, can you tell me a little bit about how commencement is different than graduation and what those differences are?
Sure. Commencement is the celebration. So that's when we have our students cross the stage and they shake hands with the president. They receive a diploma cover that does not have their diploma in it. Graduation is the process by which our office, Graduation Audit Office, reviews every student's audit who has petitioned to graduate. We determine whether they are in compliance with BOR and Kennesaw policies. As long as they meet all degree requirements, then we do award their degree. So that's the difference between commencement and graduation.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And I know we're kind of already in that process, but can you tell me the timeline of that process? How does that process start? How does it get rolling? Things of that sort?
Right. We are in the middle of that process now. Actually, we're just a couple of weeks away from the RSVP portal closing. The deadline to petition to graduate for spring and summer was January 17th. Summer students would be allowed to participate in commencement as long as they petition to graduate by January 17th. We then uploaded all that data to Tassel, and students are now going out to Tassel to indicate whether they plan on attending commencement or not. That is required in order to be able to attend commencement. Tassel will close on February 23rd. After that point, students will not be able to access Tassel to RSVP. If they have any questions at that point, they should contact diploma@kennesaw.edu.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And Paul, can you tell me a little bit about ticketing process? So now students have RSVP, they're ready to attend commencement. How do they get those tickets for commencement?
Yes, information related to ticketing is available on commencement.kennesaw.edu. But the key thing that we are asking to help with the ticketing process are for the students to go ahead, log into their ticket portal through the KSU ticketing portal, make sure their account's set up, and then on April 1st, for the students who have RSVP to attend, their 4 tickets will be uploaded into their ticket portal, to their ticket account. They will not be receiving emails. I think last fall we had students who, I didn't get my tickets, they're not in my email. That's because it's in their ticket portal, their ticket account. So that's where you'll want to go. But before April 1st opens, make sure you can go in, make sure if you haven't already set up an account, update that account, log in, make sure you access it. If you have any problems, reach out to the ticketing box office and they can assist with setting up the ticket portal.
Absolutely, thank you. And moving right along, Paul, can you tell me a little bit more about when commencement dates are going to be posted?
Absolutely, Bree. Yes, as Marty stated, RSVP portal Tassel closes on Sunday, February 23rd. So that Monday, February 24th, we're going to take the data, look at the numbers for each college, put our ceremonies together based on the numbers and the dates, and we're going to post to the commencement.kennesaw.edu website on March the 1st.
Wonderful. I know everyone's checking off their calendar now. March the 1st.
March the 1st.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So we're going to move along to a little bit more information that graduates need to know as they are coming up onto commencement. So Paul, would you mind giving us a little bit more details about where do graduates park when they first arrive, and what is that going to look like when they are arriving the day of their ceremony?
Absolutely, Bree. We're asking that all the graduates who are participating in commencement to park in the central parking deck. For those of you that's on the Perelman side, kind of connecting to Perelman Hall, that is to allow our guests and other individuals to be able to utilize the east deck. So all the participants should be parking in the central parking deck.
Wonderful, thank you so much. And for anyone who may need a map or need directions on how to get there, be sure to check out your KSU email address. If you type in a graduation cap emoji, all commencement emails will pop up, and there will be a map located in that email, your next steps email in that inbox. So be on the lookout for that, and that will be coming through shortly. Moving right along, after they park, where should they go, Paul?
Absolutely. Once all the graduates have parked in the central parking deck, you've got everything ready. You walk straight over from the central parking deck over to the Siegel Student Recreation Center. Will be located in where the basketball courts are located. We will also have signs out on the day of each commencement pointing the graduates to the Siegel Recreation Center for them to check in, because that is where every student who's going to participate must check in at the Siegel Rec Center at least 30 minutes prior to the start of the ceremony. Anybody who walks in after 30 minutes may be directed in a different direction to check in, because we get started walking over to the Convocation Center at least 10 minutes till. But there's a 20 minutes where we're going over information, getting everybody ready to walk over to the Convocation Center, or I should say to process over to the Convocation Center.
Wonderful, thank you. And after students check in the rec center, can you tell me a little bit more about the regalia, what's approved, what's not approved, what they should be wearing the day of commencement? Absolutely.
We are asking that all students who are going to participate in commencement must have the approved KSU regalia that's sold through the bookstore and or through the Jostens website. Any borrowed regalia or regalia from other institutions or any regalia that does not have the approved current logos will not be accepted or allowed into the rec center to be checked in. We're going to direct those students over to the bookstore to receive the approved regalia.
Perfect. Sounds good. Marty, would you mind telling me a little bit more about how graduates are arranged to sit once they are walking in for the processional and walking across the stage? How would parents know which side their graduate's going to be on, and how to find their graduate during their ceremony? I know everyone loves those beautiful pictures of their graduates walking across the stage. So if we could hear a little bit more about that, that would be lovely.
Sure. Graduates are going to be seated according to level by college. So it'll be doctorates seated first. We do not sit in alphabetical order. So our doctorate students first, then our education specialists for the Bagwell, Bagwell College of Education. Then we have our masters, and then we have all undergraduates. Again, they're not seated in alphabetical order, but they are seated by level by college. So as far as where to sit in the Convocation Center, really there isn't a bad seat in the house as far as you can see your graduate approach the stage, or you can see your graduate as they're crossing the stage, shaking hands with the president and the president's party, and then exiting the stage. So you can get a good picture either way.
Wonderful. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful, and I know everyone's so excited to get that magical moment, so it's really great to know in advance. So thank you so much.
And also know that every student will have the opportunity to download a stage clip. So we have a stage clip that takes about a 5-second video. It's a little bit longer, obviously, for our doctorate students, but that video clip is of their student only, and their student's name being announced and shaking hands with the president.
Oh wow, I bet that's beautiful.
Yeah, very special.
Yay. So can you go into a little bit more detail about our Latins Honors, our Journeys Honors College, as well as our National Honor Society and what those cords look like, or where students can get those cords, or any information about that?
All right, sure. So our Latin honors are only for undergraduate students, and that there are benchmarks. So you have cum laude, 3.5 GPA to 3.69, magna cum laude, 3.7 to 3.89, and summa cum laude, 3.9 or higher. And all of our graduates who have a 4.0 GPA will have a white tassel as they cross the stage. The National Honor Societies, that is handled by the National Honor Societies, and in order to get those cords, you get them through the National Honor Society. There are 2 levels of membership. There's the regular membership, and then there is a premium membership. It's the premium membership that distributes cords. So if you're a member of an honor society and you have not received that cord, you'll want to upgrade your membership to a premium membership. The Journey Honors College here on campus is comprised of students who meet very specific criteria, and they have to fill out an application and be accepted into the Journey Honors College. And those students have other designations, honors in the major and so forth. Right, again, it's all undergraduate.
Do you want to explain how we utilize the GPA for the Latin honors?
GPA for Latin honors is pulled from the last term of attendance. So if you were last here in fall and you're participating in commencement in the spring, we will use your end of term GPA, institutional GPA, for fall. If you were last here in summer and you are back attending and completing degree requirements in spring, we will be using your GPA as of the end of summer.
Perfect. Sounds great. So make sure that you're getting all this information. And if you want a quick little diagram of some of the differences, we're going to have in the chat an Instagram link with more of that information, and you can go in and see the distinctions. So that's wonderful. Please feel free to check out that link. Now, Paul, after the ceremony is over, what is the process for those graduates, and what will they go through after they've walked across the stage, shaken hands with all of the amazing people on stage? What are they going to do after that?
Awesome. Thank you, Bree. Yes. Once everyone has walked across the stage and received their diploma cover, we sing the alma mater. The president has concluded, the ceremony is over. What will happen is we'll have the recessional. We'll have a special guest come and lead the graduates in their tossing out the caps. Then we'll have the recessional, and if the weather permitting, we'll have the Forever Owl Fest, which is provided and supported by our Alumni Association. We'll have the Forever Owl Fest out on the green. There are some activities, food and games, and that is where all of the graduates will meet their guests and loved ones out there at the green for the Forever Owl Fest. We will have announcements. We'll talk about that as individuals check in. We'll actually have individuals from the Alumni Association come and speak about that. But that is where everyone will plan to meet their loved ones, their guests out there at the green for Forever Owl Fest.
Perfect. Now, on that same topic of meeting up with your guests, I know the most exciting part for me, especially, was after commencement, going out to dinner with your friends and family. So that being said, I know dinner reservations have to be made or things of that sort. So about how long does each ceremony last? And, when can we make dinner reservations?
Yes, I would, my recommendation is for everybody to plan for at least 2 hours. For the spring commencement ceremonies, we have larger ceremonies, so they can easily range from an hour and a half to 2 hours. We do have one ceremony, possibly two, that's going to have a speaker in there for you. That's an additional 10 to 15 minutes, but it still should not exceed 2 hours.
Absolutely.
So anyone for a 10 a.m. ceremony, plan to be concluded at least by noon, and then for a 3 p.m. ceremony, be concluded by 5-ish.
That works.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yay. And go right ahead.
And I did mention Owl Fest, but just everybody to recognize as the ceremony is over, within 2 hours, we do like to have everyone go and participate in Owl Fest. And a lot of times too, depending on which college you're graduating from, they will have a table or a booth where they have their gift to their graduates to provide for them outside Forever All Fest. But spring, you never know what the weather's going to be, but we'll always plan on for the best weather. And so, but if the weather is not permissible, then we'll recess out as fast as we can within canceling a whole fest.
Absolutely. That makes sense. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yay. And just a quick little reminder, if you have any questions at all, feel free to drop them in the chat. We do have someone behind the scenes and they are looking at your comments, so go ahead, throw them in there, and we will be able to answer any of those questions. But right now it looks like we are good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it on over to Paul about our guests for commencement. Now, one thing I do want to say as a disclaimer, the event and venue management will be directly with the guests. So they will be handling all things guests, where registrar, who is here with you today, will be with our students. So we will give as much information as we can regarding our guests and get you as prepared as possible. But I did want to give that disclaimer that event management and event venue management will be directly with those guests. So all questions should be directed in that direction. So Paul, can you tell me a little bit about where guests should park once they arrive?
Absolutely, Bree. The guests should be, when they're coming, they have the option to park in the east parking deck. I think that's right next to the Convocation Center. So there'll be signs and parking to allow the guests to park there. For ADA parking, there will be specific signs coming on depending on the location for ADA parking. And basically, there will be ADA parking on the other side of the rec center, kind of towards the student center in that lot there, as well as there might be some ADA parking in the east parking deck. But before you come to campus, I do recommend just going on. They will have directions on where the ADA parking is, but also to be able to follow the signs coming in off the interstate, coming off of Chastain Road or Fry Road as well. They'll allow you to park ADA. And also too with ADA parking, we have golf carts taking individuals from that location straight up to the Convocation Center, so to assist those guests.
Wonderful, thank you. And let's move a little bit over to the clear bag policy and the prohibited items, what students can, or what guests can and can't bring into the stadium when they come.
Absolutely. Yeah, so just think about the Convocation Center and this commencement as a big event for KSU, very similar to what you would think of a basketball game going into Convocation Center. So there will be security. They will be checking for all bags. So all bags need to be a clear bag. But if you do not have a clear bag, it may be, it's going to be searched, and you may be asked to keep it or check it to where you can't take it in. But make sure that understand no clear bags, no balloons, no tripods, air horns, artificial noise makers, and no large signs, and also no flags. There's a list on the website that lists those non-prohibited items.
Wonderful, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yay. I know a lot of guests would like to know the most important thing, when do doors open and when can they finally get in and get their seat once the Convocation Center is open?
Yes, and I want to make just a clarification. The students, for the check-in, starts 2 hours prior to the ceremony. For guests, it's an hour and a half before they open the doors before the ceremony. So a lot of times the guests would ride with the student, they may park, but then the student goes in and check in, but then the guests may have to find a location to wait before the doors open. So just be aware. So like if you're looking at a 10 o'clock ceremony, the doors to the Convocation Center will open at 8:30. And then for the 3 p.m. ceremony, the doors will open at 1:30.
Okay. Wonderful, thank you. And I know we kind of touched on this a bit, but after parking, they would go to the Convocation Center. The guests would go to the Convocation Center. Is there anything you would like to elaborate on that? Or we can move right along?
No, I would just say it'll be the front doors of the Convocation Center. All bags will be checked. And everybody must have a ticket unless it's a child and the child is going to sit in the seat of that individual. There's all the guest tickets should be on a mobile device, the QR code. That's how that's doing that nowadays. So
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
And last, let's go ahead and jump right into gifts and concessions, food for students, anything of that sort. Are there options for that, and where are they located?
Yes, so right inside the Convocation Center, as all the guests move in, to the left will be the concession stand, which will be a full concession stand with bottled water, drinks, soda, popcorn. I think they sell hot dogs, a full concession stand. Then also on the left side, past the concession stand, will be the bookstore, who will be selling gifts for their loved ones and graduates. Depending on the weather, outside of the Convocation Center, before going in, there's usually a stand selling flowers for those who like to purchase flowers for their student.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yay. And before I go ahead and close this out, are there any questions that are behind the scenes? Perfect.
No questions, but just want to say y'all did a great job, and I always will shout out that there is a pocket in the regalia. I'm always going to say that for our students. Pocket in the regalia. When I learned that, I screamed. It was the best day ever, so thank you for that.
Yeah, the regalia will have the pocket, except for the graduate student, the doctoral students. Right. But undergrad and master's students will have the pocket for them to put their cell phone in and their car keys. We do ask or let students who are coming in, there will be lockers in the rec center, so if they're carrying stuff in, they can secure them in the locker and then come back after the ceremony. But when we go over to the Convocation Center, they're not going to be able to take a lot of items with them. So come ready, dressed, and ready to go.
Perfect. And is there anything else we would like to add before I close this out?
Just remind everybody, for those who may have guests or loved ones who can't make it to Kennesaw for the commencement ceremony, it will be live streamed. Each ceremony is live streamed, so your loved ones can still log in onto the website, go to the live stream, and watch you walk across the stage.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Yeah. So that is going to end our Know Before You Go live for today. Just a couple of quick reminders before we close out. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram so you can get all the information you need, and that is going to be dropped in the chat. So feel free to reach out for more information there, as well as check your KSU student email for all information for students and guests. It will be directed to that KSU student email. So again, go ahead and put that grad cap emoji in your inbox search bar, and all of the commencement emails will pop up. And as we get closer to the ceremony date, there will be more information about graduate specific and guest specific information. But currently you should be getting information about what to do prior to RSVPing and to reminders to RSVP for commencement. So we are very excited. And last reminder is that if you cannot make it with us for commencement, don't forget that you can always check out on our commencement website, kennesaw.edu/commencement. You can live stream it there and have all of your friends and family watch you live streamed on there. But thank you guys so much for joining us today. I am so happy that we were able to have this Know Before You Go commencement live, and congratulations to all of our graduates. I know how big this milestone is, and we are so incredibly proud of you here at Kennesaw State University. And as always, once and now, forever and now, and hooty hoo, and have a wonderful day.
Hooty hoo.